USDJPY and Euro USD price analysis. Not only that, in this video, let's dive deep into how to trade semi gap. For example, this one right here that just occur on USDJPY 1-day chart, as you can see at this very point. So all of this and many detail in this video. Watch this video gradually all the way to the very end. The first thing here is the fact that semi gap are very important in the market, especially when they approach a level that are very key. For example, if you look at this very area, we have this level of resistance right at this very point. But what happened right here from this very point is that the market moved a little bit to the upside to this very area, and we see liquidity collection. So market grab liquidity from this very point before we see that semi gap. Now, one thing very important about semi gap is that you don't just trade semi gap based on one specific direction or one specific perspective. You trade it in line with what you are seeing on price action. Okay, some folks can say trade semi gap after it has been closed. Some folks can say trade semi gap when it comes to that area and have rejection. All of those perspectives can be true, but you need to trade it in line with what is happening right there on price action and in line with the current market trend, because that is only when you can trade it very perfectly. So trading it in one direction, like if you see a semi gap after it close, enter for market to move upward, or if you see a semi gap after it close from this very point and the market move into this very area and they have rejection, you should sell because market is going to come back down. Those ones doesn't work that way all the time. It can work sometime and don't work sometime. But the most important thing is that if you trade it in perspective with what is happening on price action at that time, you will have a greater chance of always trading semi gap perfectly. Okay, not 100% because nothing is 100% in the market, but 80 to 90%, even 90% of the time of you trading semi gap will be very successful. So from here, what I am expecting is for the market to move downward, in my opinion, from this very point. Why? Because number one, liquidity have been grabbed from this very area of resistance right here, resistance right here. Market push up a little bit, grab liquidity and come back down before the closure of the market on Friday. And then we see this semi gap that happened in the market before the opening of the market on Monday, which means market have capability of moving downward. That is what created that semi gap after that market closure on Friday and the opening of the market on Monday. So what that also means is that the market have capability of closing this and come back down and also approaching this very area into the semi gap from a resistance before the final move to the downside. What I am personally looking at on this very price action, for the fact that the liquidity have been grabbed from this very area, is for market to come back down for retracement into this very area before the next move to the upside. So this is what you need to pay attention to right now on this very price action, and especially for this very semi gap right here. And if you go back to the 4-hour chart so that we can see this semi gap perfectly and clearly, look at it right here. Market moved from this very point. We were seeing the market moving upward, okay, on Friday, and after the close of the market, at the opening of the market on Monday, we see this semi gap right at this very point. Market move upward, okay, and form this resistance, very important, before this move all the way to the downside. What I am expecting personally is for market to move up a little bit, okay, and come back down as well. This is my personal opinion. On the 4-hour chart, very, very specific, market should move upward, okay, in favor of the USD and approach this very area of important fair value gap. We have a gap at this very area, so market should react to this very gap right at this very point, and then from here expect market to come back to the downside. So market move into this very point and then come back down. So this is an important point to pay attention to, and the market as well can move into this very gap area right at this very point, okay, and find liquidity at this very area before the final move to the downside. So two areas to pay attention to on this very price action. Number one is this very point right here before the next move to the downside, or market to move into the semi gap area, fill the gap and come back down. This is very, very important. Some person think that if the market close a semi gap, the market must have to come back down. Yeah, it happens sometimes, but a lot of the time, if the market did not create a new high, it will not come back down. So on the flip side, if the market come back upward, that is from here, move all the way to the upside and go above this level of important resistance, then market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside. This is very, very important, and this is the perfect way to trade semi gap. Let me repeat myself on this very note. If you look at this very point, market is going to move upward, in my opinion. Okay, so if market move upward to this very area and form some resistance, we need to find out if retracement have ended for market to continue downward, or market to move into this very area of the semi gap before the movement downward. And if market close this semi gap and go above this level of important resistance right here and close above it with a bullish candle, that is a confirmation that the market is going to move all the way to the upside. So looking for a buy opportunity will only be necessary after we've seen the market close the semi gap around this very area and break out of the resistance around this very point and give us a significant bullish candle. So once we confirm that around this very area, then it is the right time to take a trade all the way to the upside or a buy position. That is the best way to trade semi gap in the market. Very important, especially this one that is on this price action USDJPY 4-hour chart appearing live right here. And you can also find this very gap on the 1-day chart USDJPY as well. So this is very important. Pay attention to this, guys. And if you come to Euro USD right at this very point, this market have been moving all the way to the upside. So from here, market move upward, come back down, move upward, create a new high, higher than the previous high at this very point, come back down a little bit, move upward. So what next for the market? In my opinion, this market have capacity of moving upward a little bit, but I am expecting retracement to come into the market before the final move to the upside. So in my opinion, a buy position will be good to look out for on Euro USD. And this is my personal opinion. You may have something contrary to this, and that is very okay. So from here, expect the market to move upward a little bit, but retracement is possible within this very price level of 1.1740, okay, and where the market is right now. Within this very area, retracement is going to happen to the downside, okay, before the next move to the upside, and this is what I am personally looking at. And the area or the level you should expect retracement to come down into is this very point of important resistance right here, okay. That is where I am expecting retracement to come down into. That means once the market retraces from this very area, the next point the retracement is going to stop is within this very point before the next move to the upside, in my opinion. And I'm going to be giving this trade on the Telegram channel. So if you want to take this trade USDJPY for a buy or a sell, depending on the scenario that play out on price action, join the Telegram channel, link in the description, and also for this Euro USD, link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. It is a free channel to receive signal, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and many more. So from here, in my opinion, expect market to retrace before the next move to the upside in favor of the euro. And if you come back to the 1-day chart, the 1-day chart presents something very, very different. Look at it right here. I expect that this market, if you look at it, market has been moving all the way to the upside from here. Market move upward and then retracement. So market should move upward, come back down a little bit before the final move to the upside. I believe the market have capability of still moving upward, creating a new high higher than the previous high at this very point on the price of Euro USD. And this is my personal opinion. This is what I am looking at right now on Euro USD. More especially if you come to USDJPY, this semi gap is very, very important. Take note of it and trade in line with the trend. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more Forex videos like this one. Also, check the channel for other Forex content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.